Hi, I'm John Davis, and today I'm going to talk to you about 3 numbers that you must track in your business. Now, I'm biased because I'm an accountant, and I could tell you lots of technical numbers that needs an accountant to help with, but these aren't. These are quite simple numbers. They're just a little bit different to what perhaps most people talk to you about, because these numbers are related to your marketing and the marketing cost, and that's the point, that you shouldn't view it as a cost, just what you spend after you've spent everything else. You should be viewing it as an investment, and hopefully by looking at these numbers you can actually start to view it as an investment to help your business grow and get customers and keep customers. Okay, so what are these numbers? Well, the first one actually is your profit, and I apologise, I did say they wouldn't be the normal numbers, but I can't overlook this one. You really do need to know what your profit was last week, last month, last year, and also next week, next month and next year, because once you know that, you've got a solid grounding for making decisions. If you don't know your profit, it's like flying a plane without the instruments. You don't know where you're going and you can't make decisions on what to do. So once you've got that one sorted, you can move on to the good stuff. The second number I want to talk about is how much it costs you to get a customer. And you can break that down into 2 steps. How much it costs you to get a lead, so whether that's a face-to-face meeting or somebody onto your website, and you should be able to track that by each source of marketing that you do. So as an example, if you use, say, Google AdWords, you can actually track how much it costs for each click through to your website, and that's the cost of a lead. Or if you're in, say, a networking group, you might pay an annual membership, and you know therefore how many face-to-face meetings you got through that with prospects. You can divide that by the membership to work out how much it costs you to get a lead. But then you need to take it one step further of how much it costs to get a customer. So, what's the conversion? And therefore Google AdWords might be quite cheap to get a lead, but the conversion isn't as good as perhaps a networking group. But once you got to the end of that, you will know how much it costs you to get each customer by each source of marketing you do. The third number is, what's that customer worth to you? What's their overall value? I mean, first up, it is worth knowing what they spend straight away, because that helps with your cash flow. So on that first purchase, if you're a restaurant, that first meal, online retailer, first purchase. I'm an accountant and most of my clients pay me monthly, so how much they spend in the first month, because that does help with cash flow. But a more important number is how much they spend over the whole relationship. So my clients might pay me monthly, but I know on average they'll stay with me a number of years. So let's say it's 5 years, I can multiply that out and see how much they're worth to me over the length of the relationship. Now, if you can't track that directly through your database, a good estimate would be, what was your total sales for the last 3 years and the total number of customers? And that will give you a good estimate of how much each customer is worth to you overall. And of course, you do need to take that one step further through to the profits. So what's your total profit over those last 3 years divided by the total number of customers? And that gives you your profit per customer. Now, once you've got those numbers, particularly the second and third one of how much it costs to get a customer and what they're worth to you, can start to make some pretty clever decisions of what you're going to spend and what you're willing to spend up front on your marketing to actually get those customers through the door. And just to give you an example of this, as someone who uses this really well, would be Sky TV. Now, Sky for years now have had an offer on that if you refer in one of your friends who signs up Sky TV, they'll give you some vouchers and some to your friends as well. Now, the value has changed over time, but at the moment it's £75 for you and £75 for your friend. So they will spend £150 to get a customer. And that sounds really generous. But Sky are clever, they've done the sums here, and if you think about it, what does the average person spend on Sky? And I don't know the exact number, but it must be about 50 quid a month. And they've got in your minimum tie-in of 12 months, so they're going to get at least £600. And on average, people stay with them 5 years. So actually they spent £150 up front to get a £3,000 customer, and that's pretty good business maths, that. So just to recap then, the numbers you need to know are your profits, so you can make decisions, how much it costs to get a customer, and how much that customer is worth. And you need to have real clarity on these numbers. And like I said, they're not that hard to work out, you can probably do it yourself, but you need to track them and make source of marketing as well. So there's my top 3 numbers. If you're liking more business tips, it'd be great if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, or also subscribe to our email newsletter using the link below. Thank you.